The word is out that you and I beginning it on. I know the word is out that you and I, oh yeah, that you and I, oh yeah, that you and I beginning it on. Hey, Jermaine Stewart, oh buddy. Good morning, people. Hello. Hey, YouTube. If y'all don't come on, I'm gonna sing again. How about that? Okay, but you're all right then. People, I want to talk about Andrew Gillum. I just saw his interview. I saw it yesterday, actually. I've always liked him. This man came very close to becoming the governor of Florida. Maybe we wouldn't have the problems we're having with Florida in the gubernatorial mansion if he had been elected. Maybe he wouldn't be fighting against what we all know about coronavirus. Anyway, so I got a call. Someone said I should look into this, I should check out this interview. Actually, I had already seen it. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought it was nice. I can tell. It seems like maybe he's not still in program rehab. Perhaps he's out. It happened 4 months ago, this incident he had. But perhaps he's doing outpatient now and he's taking therapy. What we wanted to see, I think, I'm just guessing, we as human beings want to hear about the salaciousness. We want to hear about what happened in the hotel room, and people like me and a lot of other people wanted him to confess, is he gay? Everybody wants everybody to come out wherever you are. So this is the kind of thing that I think the people who don't know are not from Florida, don't care very much about the politics of Florida. This is what they wanted him to talk about. Talk about the 3 men in the room, one calling the cops, one being unresponsive, kind of thing. But people are where they are. So the person who called me suggested that he felt like he was skirting around the truth, because the gays always want to know the truth. Spin it, tell it. This is a man who is married. He appears to be in love with his wife. He's got young children. No, I don't expect him to come out here and just spill it all in 4 months. It's a process, people. Like we all went through our process. It is a process for a person, particularly a person in government as well. People who are in politics. Now we know that a whole lot of the world comes out now. Actors, actresses, newscasters, all kind of people coming out of the closet. Everybody's free. LGBT power, but it hasn't really touched that tightly with politics. Politicians still generally don't come out. Now we know about the lady she in Texas. There've been a couple. There've been a few people you can look at them and kind of suspect them or whatever. But people in politics generally do not just come all the way out of the closet, especially not if they have a wife and they have children. They have responsibilities. This man came within a stone's throw of the governorship, right? So he has a lot of followers, a lot of people who believe in him. He has to consider all that before he just comes out of program and just, get him an Afro wig. So that part, he did hint a couple of things he said. First of all, he said let's go over the incident. The incident was caught in a hotel. He was extremely drunk. The other person, he wasn't dead, was he? No. There's another guy in the room. I think the other guy was unresponsive for the moment. Yeah, he didn't die. And there was another guy in the room who called the paramedics. And this story got big in public, right? This is right after he had just lost the race for governor. He's saying he was depressed. He already drank. His father was an alcoholic. It ruined his life. And he didn't react well to losing that race. He put everything into it. He said he'd been in politics for 17 years. I believe he did a lot of also commentary because his face is so familiar to me. And I don't know why it would be that familiar to me if I wasn't seeing him regularly. Right. It could just be because he's running for governor. Anyway, so he was suffering from depression. He went to rehab and he's now in therapy. He hit on He didn't say anything about these homosexual. He didn't say anything about the sexual situation, because apparently the guy who was in the room, who was passed out, was a gay hustler. I'm just telling you what I heard, people. But he did mention about dealing with guilt and shame. Shame is the key word. That's the thing that keeps people away from coming out, because you still could do it. You could do it. I mean, if he's not going to be running for governor again, he can do whatever he wants to do. Basically, he's a very young man, and so. But he talked about, because even if you're not gay, you still need therapy, honey. If you're sitting up here guzzling down whole bottles of booze and passing out and all this kind of stuff, you still need therapy, right? I did therapy for 5 years. It was great. I need to do it now, really. But he talked about the shame. Okay. So my question is, what does he mean by shame? So maybe this is his subtle way of talking about his sexuality. But see, for us, sexuality is everything for a lot of us. Not so much to me, but it depends on what your priorities are. That might just be a pimple on his ass, his sexuality. He said that his wife knew him, a woman who knew everything I am and everything I'm not. So apparently, I took from that is that she knows him. She's married to him. They live in the same house. So perhaps she wasn't as surprised about this man's apparent bisexuality, right? She wasn't surprised by it. But I don't know. I give people a pass when they have to consider other people. Now, in their situation, they'll probably have their children in therapy and everything else to try to bring him out slowly, to help them to understand. Because gay people, they still have families. And bisexual people, they really exist. And they're still capable of having a relationship. Bisexual means you can have a relationship with a male or a female and or a female. You can do both, right? Because you're bisexual don't mean you don't love your wife. So he has other people to consider besides himself. If he were a single man, maybe he would just come out with the rainbow flag wrapped around his head. I don't know. See, even in this talk, I'm making it all about sex. Well, that was what the incident was. The incident, I mean, we can't skirt around that. That's what it was. But he's probably got other issues to deal with as well if he's a human being. Let me see. He also hinted that he was writing now. And just now I looked at Roland Martin's show, and some of those people that commented a little bit afterwards. So I thought, what is his motives? Is he writing a book? Baby, everybody should be writing a book. You think therapy is cathartic? Writing your story can be extremely cathartic. So perhaps if he's writing, that is part of his story as well. And why shouldn't he? This man has got responsibilities. Even though he's not going to be the governor, he's still got to support a family. Why wouldn't he write his book? Why wouldn't anybody write their book? So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And perhaps he'll delve more into this thing in that. But it's a good possibility. He said maybe he'll come back and talk more. It's a process. I don't expect that dude to just, understand himself perfectly. Probably if he's the kind of person that goes and gets drunk and be with hustlers and things, he's probably drunk most of the time he's with them. So he's got to figure out his own self. A lot of people, that bisexual area is a very confusing area. Not only for us, but for the person who it actually affects. So let me shut up. Hi, people. How y'all doing today? I can see him being a commentator. I can see him getting a job with CNN or MSNBC. He's a very well-spoken person. That's a good job, So we don't know what his plans are, and I'm sure he's not quite figured it out yet himself. Probably the first thing since we still all remember the story, and maybe the book is the easiest thing you can do right now. Something you can do right now. Okay, hello everyone. Hi, Redbone. I hope I got your address right. When I tried to send you Cash App, it didn't come back the name that we know you by, Redbone, but it came back the same. It came back red, spelled R-E-D-D, and it came back bone and 1 and 2. So I'm hoping you got that. If not, let me know. 4 likes, 30. What's the T? Y'all better get them likes up. Miss Deanna Urban said, get them likes up. I'm not saying another word till you get to, I got to see 50. 50. Give me 50. Please hit the like button, people. Okay. So when gay people talk about, I don't know, talking about the gay. Well, I don't know nothing about this brother though, because I'm not from Florida. So people in Florida probably knows his whole career, right? They almost put him in the governorship. So a lot of people know a lot more about him. All I know is about this salacious story that happened 4 months ago. I'm glad he did go into program. People always say, "Oh, they're gonna go into program." Watch. Well, that's where they need to go. All the program is gonna do for you, honey, is get you away from getting high. No booze, no drugs. You go somewhere with support. They don't do no damn brain surgery in program rehab. They have groups. They try to get as close as they can to the truth, but it's an ongoing process. Hey, people. I'm waiting on the wife's interview. Yeah, she may or may not. You know, the thing is about kids, because kids, you know, kids, well, they're not in school right now, but kids in school are very evil, right? So whatever he comes out with, his kid's gonna have to ride that with him. That's my thought. He said he did make the point of saying my wife knows everything about me, everything I am and everything I'm not. That suggests to me that they have an understanding. And you can be in love with your wife and still be a bisexual person. So still it would involve, cheating and all that kind of stuff. Because if you're cheating with a male or a female, you're still cheating, right? Unless they have some kind of understanding. For him to have to get that drunk, I don't know what kind of understanding that is. Tim, Elaine Berry. Tim, I'm in Florida. Andrew has had a reputation in Tallahassee for many years. No one in Florida was surprised, and his wife has been called his beard even prior to the marriage. Andrew wasn't a good marriage. Okay, that's opinion. But yeah, I heard that too. I heard the people in Florida he was always kind of suspect. Him and Charlie, what was it, Chris? They were already suspect for years and years and years. So maybe this was a surprise because they got caught. I don't know what the motivation for this third person. I guess the third person thought that boy had OD'd or something and might die. And he had to call the authorities. But when they got there, Andrew Gillum couldn't even talk. So yeah. So maybe they have that understanding. So I don't know if she's going to have to respond not to this. He hasn't even spilled anything, really. And they may decide to keep their lives personal. I don't know why people feel like gay people are supposed to, they have to be open out loud and all this kind of stuff. And most of us do feel that way. We want everybody to come out just because it strengthens our argument. But people have a right to their privacy. I mean, he didn't make the decision for the guy to call the cops and all this kind of stuff. He didn't have the decision to make this guy. The guy was to come in and OD on pills. So there was pills in the room and drugs in the room. He's only copying to the drugs in the room. I mean, to the alcohol in the room. He was definitely drunk. That's all they could probably prove. And people were much willing to understand a person being drunk than a person taking drugs. I think what they found was meth, right? Meth is a sexual stimulant. That's what you do. You take meth and you have sex. So there was a hustler there. I guess his other guy, he was an older guy. Maybe he just stumbled upon them or something. Or maybe they were in the room talking or whatever. Andrew Gillum is bisexual, but who cares? He should move to San Francisco. Jay's boss, he ain't got to move to San Francisco. There's than one place to live. Wait a minute. Andrew Gillum is a bisexual, but who cares? he should move to San Francisco and no one would even care about this scandal. Oh, he's still got a life before him. I think he's going to end up on as a commentator on television because he does so much of that. He's very well versed at political issues. He can certainly cover politics, but he ain't the only one. There's all kind of people. He got caught. That's what happened. He came out very sincere to me. He came out as a person who was working on his issues. He said he'd be sharing more because he's writing. He'll come out with a book. Everybody comes out with a book. People are not writing as much. They're not writing as much fiction, but all of these politicians seem to have a book. Every time you turn the television on, one of them's got a book. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. And as he said, he's still got to make a living. He's a young man. Trinity Love at Elaine Berry. Okay, so you're talking to Elaine. Was his lack of ability tied to his sexuality? If he was such a horrible mayor, though, why would he come so close to becoming the governor? He would at least have to have the support of the city that he was mayor of, right? I don't know. I think that race is real close. 30,000 or something like that. He came extremely close. Maybe that's what hurt so bad. He put everything he had into it. I mean, that running for governor, that requires a lot of money, fundraising, a lot of work, a lot of meeting, a lot of people in a lot of towns. It probably was exhausting. I mean, then you don't need to do all that just to be drunk. Just to be drunk. So it doesn't surprise me that they cop to the alcohol, but they won't come to the drugs. And because one person is taking meth doesn't necessarily mean the other person is taking meth too, right? Because meth is a stimulant, right? So if you are, just talk about my experience. I didn't run into too many people on meth falling down drunk. That's how I got on meth, was because I was falling down drunk all the time. And somebody gave me that, and I was awake like this, and the drunk was gone, right? So it is an extreme stimulant, and sexual enhancement as well. But it's a possibility that he's telling the truth, that he wasn't doing meth, that the hustler was the escort, or you want to call him, was doing, but he was doing meth and pills. Why would you need the pills if you're doing meth? I don't know. They found an open bottle of pills there as well. So the guy was a drug addict. He wasn't doing meth. My cards confirmed. Okay, James Boss. He was, however, drunk as a skunk. Right. They could be doing different things. Most people do the same drug if you're getting high. You go have sex with somebody. Usually one's on acid and the other one's on acid, right? Because if one is on weed and the other one's on acid, and it's just not a very fun trip. Generally speaking, people who do meth, and there are a lot of people who pick up hustlers, and think of that guy, Ted. What's his name? Ted, the preacher. Pick up hustlers, do meth with them, and then when they leave the room, that's it. They're not full-time drug addicts. But for him to be that drunk, there's a possibility that he was not on any drugs, because drugs work the opposite direction. He would have been certainly alert if he was doing that. And then I was an alcoholic in AA, in Alcoholics Anonymous at 25 years old, right? When I discovered crystal meth, within the first couple of months, I left alcohol alone altogether. They were working in opposite directions. I didn't need the alcohol. So it's true. He don't live with the hustlers, so maybe the guy just showed up and had his own drugs. Still wasted is wasted. I mean, he was falling down when he got there. I don't know if that guy should have called the cops when he was the guy, his friend, who I assume is his friend, should have gotten him. I'm not promoting scandal, but should have gotten him out of the room before he called the cops about the kid, or called the kid and then get him out of the room, or rent a room down the hall, or just send him out in the parking lot or something. and got him away from the scene before he called the cops. I think that was a mistake on the person, the third person in the room. He already panicked, thought that guy was going to die. Now, he may come up with a little pamphlet or something, depending on how big the story gets, but there's a good chance that he didn't even know the person. It's just somebody, you call somebody up. Because Andrew is a young black man, everyone was still high off Obama and Trump's lying trifling behind. It's from Elaine Berry. I don't know. You say a mayor is terrible. That's your opinion. That's your vote. I didn't vote for him, but a lot of other people thought he was a great mayor because they ran him for office. You're not going to be run for governor. People are not going to be putting millions of dollars behind you if they feel like you ain't got a chance and you have some horrible record, But you're right, Elaine. You live there. You know who these people are. Yeah, there's a lot of substance abuse in Florida. That's for sure. And then a lot of hustlers, a lot of people who are sex workers, hustlers, prostitutes, and all that. A lot of them do drugs. That is not that part. There is nothing amazing about that. That's generally where they get the money from. West Palm Beach. Okay, Nathan McCaskill. Substance abuse is everywhere in Florida, and it has been for decades. I was living in West Palm Beach and went to a club in Hollywood, Florida. Met someone who asked me back to his place for a party. For some P&P. Party and play. Ooh-wee. Connor. Hopefully they don't need all that. That just sounds like it's a heart attack trying to happen. Good to see you, Connor. Yeah, this guy was real. I'm impressed by him. I don't know what's going to do next. It'd be interesting to see what he's going to do next in his career. There have been people who have had those kind of scandals and come back and run for office again. What happened to that? Was that mayor? Was he in D.C. or was he in Detroit? Who was it? Marion Barry, I think his name was. Caught smoking crack. Andrew makes almost $400K a year. What are you making $400K a year doing? What's he do? Is he an attorney or something? Please answer, James Boss. He makes $400K a year, but he's not the governor. Does he have a position? Oh, a cinder block covered with cocaine. Oh, I hear you, Nathan. You should wait for the cops to bust down the door. Yeah, drugs is something else. I was exposed to cocaine several times, never took. That's the way people are, you try this, you try that. And then one day, I knew I was going to be hooked on meth from the very first night. It was just that fast, honey. It was like, this is it. 17 years was on that shit. But I was exposed to other drugs they never took. Back in the 70s, I did a lot of acid. My first partner. Acid, MDA. Keep on shopping around. You're going to hit something, honey. Would you leave him? I wouldn't leave him. Hell no. I wouldn't leave him anyway. He's a good-looking guy. That was his salary as mayor of Tallahassee. Okay. But he is no longer mayor. He does private counseling. Private counseling. So he's getting therapy and being a therapist. So he might not be at that 400,000 mark then. James Boss. Okay. Private counseling. What, political counseling or like a therapist? Therapists do, they get therapy too. Okay, James, and you said they still get benefits after they leave office too. So I doubt he's hurting for money as the mayor. I mean, how much would they get? Plus, we don't know what his wife does. Is she a professional woman? He apparently just got out of rehab. Most rehabs are 90 days, so it's only been 4 months ago, and he's coming out talking now. So we have to assume that he's only been out about a month. Maybe not even back to work yet. Well, he couldn't jump back to work because of the damn corona. I bet he would have done a lot better with the corona than the fool they got in there now, who is insisting on following Trump no matter what. Now Trump's ass trying to turn it around. Oh, you wear a mask. Not his words. He's reading from the teleprompter or his notes. Too late, Trump. Too late. You explain that to these people who done lost their family members because of corona and your decisions. Private political counseling. Yeah, they probably make good money. Yeah, they would have to keep them on the down low for the moment. But these politicians are not getting into office by themselves, right? There's a lot of Miss Popes in there. Everybody's got a, what do you call it? The right-hand woman, my man. Why was my comment deleted? What did you say? What did you say? Mulatto King, Justine, why you that long ass name? 404. Why was my comment deleted? I don't know. 800 to 1,000 a month? Oh, that ain't no money. Man, you can't support no family no $800 a month. 1,000, that's what you get on SSI. They're smart people. They'll make it. But this is definitely a bump in the road. All my people are deleting messages. Well, they probably have listen, my moderators, they're great moderators. I have to trust them. They shouldn't be moderators. So you guys gotta work it out on your own. Right? I trust what they do. It must have a reason. So far, we haven't had that problem though. Okay. Redbone says it was an error. Relax. I don't get in your business, Redbone. I never done drugs. I don't judge anyone who does, but I celebrate with everyone who has managed to quit doing drugs. I know it's a long, hard road for recovering addicts, so I keep them in prayer. Yeah? Everybody's story is not the same, honey. And everybody tells you they did drugs for 20 years and it was horrible and miserable. Oh, my life was horrible. No. It was working to stop working, honey. A lot of those years I was doing dope, even though I was killing myself. I liked it. At some point, it doesn't work anymore. That's when you're hooked, honey. When you're doing something that you don't want to do and you can't stop doing it. Thanks for the super chat, Nathan.
I pulled up some images for you.
What? Oh, that woman. What's her name? Corona. I'm Corona on my brain. Coralella, whatever. Sometimes she hears things on the computer. Let me see. Why was my comment today? Okay. Why are all these celebrities that was promoting him? Where are all these celebrities that were promoting him? Andrew was a one-term mayor. Hopefully he will find his way and live his truth. I don't know. I don't know your local politics. He ain't through them. Is he even 40? He's younger than that even. He'll come back. It ain't like he killed nobody. All they really got him was being drunk. Can't blame him because the kid OD'd. Obviously, he brought his own drugs. And there's a chance that he may never come out. A lot of people don't, honey. A lot of people don't. A lot of, basically, people who are married. Sometimes out of respect for the wife. You say, I don't be out there. You telling everybody you're gay, but I'm with you. I'm your beard. You know, they do it out of respect for the family. But this right here is going to get talked about so much that I'm sure his kid's going to be exposed to it, because unfortunately everybody's online, right? So how you going to hide that? You got 65,000 likes on Twitter. I'm sure he'll sit down with them. Maybe they'll sit down on Empire, not Empire, on Greenleaf last night. I still got to do my Greenleaf review. I got to watch it again. The Clarissa and her husband Jacob, they wanted to tell their children that they were getting the divorce, right? Zora didn't take it well. But wanted to be left alone to cry it out. She's a teenager, about 18 years old. But this young child, they said they have to go to they were going to a counselor, someone else, to break this news to the kid that they were divorcing, to help him to explain it, help him get through it, to understand it. Right? So I imagine this same kind of thing would happen with someone like Gillum, if he wanted to explain things to his children, because there's so much talk online. He decided to go public, so he knows what comes with that. He is a professional after all. Early live, yeah, my friend woke me up, told me, get out there, go look at all of them, go look at Andrew. I thought his talk was fine. If he wants to expose more later on, then he can. Give him some time to breathe, honey. He just got out of rehab. So essentially the work is just beginning. I strongly recommend therapy. You have an issue, something you can't shake by yourself. Yeah, go see a therapist. That's all it is somebody to talk to. It's not like it's always on television either, where they're going back to your childhood. When did your dad leave? Did your mom beat your dad? Did your dad beat your mom? Who the hell was beating who? All that kind of stuff. A lot of times is what's going on with you right now. How does that make you feel? He may save the major bombs for the book, though. If he's doing a book, they'll drop little hints, That is extremely therapeutic, though. Cathartic, as they say, to write your own story out. And unfortunately, sometimes it takes a salacious story to make it pop. That's why they always drop all of these salacious stories in the book. They're going to tell you a whole 400 pages, but you only want to hear that one paragraph. What happened? Hello from Denver. Hey, Terrell Davis. Bob Denver. That's more like 50 Shades of Gay. Lord have mercy. Is that a title? That's a real title there, Lincoln. Why not play off the name? 50 Shades of Gay. At Trinity. So what did Trinity say? Was his lack of ability to lead because of heterosexuality. Elaine Berry says at Trinity, I think it was because he was so young. He had to be very, very young when he was the mayor, right? Because I think he's around 40. He was so young, and Tallahassee is also the state capital. I'm sure he probably didn't expect his secret to get out. That was dumb on the part of that third person, though. Even if he did panic and think this kid had OD'd and all this kind of stuff, he could at least got the politician out of the room. They don't need him. He was just there. And he was so drunk he couldn't even communicate. So maybe he tried to get him out of the room. Maybe dude wouldn't leave. I'm not going out there. I'm too drunk. Yeah, if he can't work in front of the camera, I'm sure he'll be working behind the scenes with some of these people to get Trump out. They're not gonna want him on the Biden campaign just yet, but he can still do work behind the scenes. He's going to be Olivia Pope. What else is going on here? Let me see. I'm backtracking now. See how they missed the interview, lovely darlings. Okay, we spoke about most of this. What's that dude? Roland Martin. Roland Martin show. He didn't really add anything to the story. He just played the clip. It's 11-minute clip. It's here on YouTube, people. Stop it. But Roland Martin, he had a couple of people on. They made a couple of encouraging comments, but not much. He didn't really do commentary on it. I fell in love with you the first time I looked into them their eyes. I've been hearing all these Lady Sings the Blues songs in my head lately. I think because you sing one, it slowly creep back into your brain. Hey, mama, hey, papa, gonna get you in a whole lot of trouble. Ooh, baby, them their eyes. Your man to follow. That was Billy D. Williams. Billy D. What happened here? Taiwan Z. What is the question? Hey, Uncle Tim, random question. What do you eat for lunch and dinner? I know you mentioned that you only cook once or twice a year. Do you eat a lot of takeout? Too paranoid to mess with a lot of takeout. Every once in a while, I'll go and get a burrito. Lately, I've been getting sandwiches from Safeway, just ham or cheese, something like that. Since I snack so much, I like all this sugar-free snack stuff. And even though these ones that are claimed to be sugar-free, I'm sure there's some in there. So I snack so much, I don't eat big meals anymore. So the most it's going to be is like a sandwich. And that'll be the meal for the day. But I'll eat peanuts and crackers and shit all through the day. So I've heard that that's a better way to eat, actually. Rather than eating one big meal like I used to eat. Like I get these big old burritos. I mean, these are real Mexicans here. They make real Mexican food, honey. Them things be like this. Anyway, I used to eat that. Then all that would sit on your stomach. If you ate 5 times a day, small meals, they call them meals, but you know. Then sometimes I'll have salad prepared over there. I don't bring a lot of salad food here because I only eat it once and then everything else goes bad, you know. Not so much the Marie Callender's. I've been eating Marie Callender's for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, almost exclusively. So those are all still sitting in my freezer. I notice I haven't touched them. I'll eat something for a while, and then I get tired of it, and then I'll move to something else. That's an unusual question. Oh, you must have saw my fat stomach. Did you? Taiwan. Did you see your uncle's fat stomach? That's why you asking about what he eats. He probably chop off a whole half a pig. I don't know how much weight I got. I don't own a scale. I don't want to be tortured, but I'm sure I gained some sitting on my ass and snacking all day. I would learn how to cook because there's so many tutorials here, even on YouTube, but I just don't see cooking for one person. I mean, I don't even eat it at my dining room table. I eat it on a TV tray in here. I just don't see making a whole meal for myself. And even if you make it and make leftovers, like sometimes I'll do spaghetti. After the first time, I don't want to eat it all week long, you know. So it'd be a good hobby to pick up in my retirement years. I wasn't raised around a lot of cook. My mom was not no great cook. I mean, she fed us. We never went hungry. But she would just put a pot on the stove kind of thing. She was never any great cook. If I had somebody here to cook for, I think it'd make a difference. But when I had a partner, he did 99.9% of the cooking. I'll tell you one damn thing, though. Every time I go in that fucking store, every time I go in the store, Safeway, right next door, is at least $60, $70. It used to be, I would go and it would be $30 when normal times. Every time I went in there, it was 30 or 40. That was frustrating enough. Yesterday, I went in there, $170. And I'm telling you the truth, people. I spent $170 at Safeway. I don't think there's a meal in there. It doesn't look like it. The refrigerator still looks empty to me. But some things like all your cosmetics cost money, you know. Then there's some vitamins you get, you know, those are $20. But I do drink a lot of stuff. I used to drink only water. Y'all know you always see me drinking water. Lately, I've taken back up with diet soda again. Thing about diet soda is it doesn't quench your thirst. So no matter how much soda you drink, I don't care if it's diet or not, all you're going to do is crave more of it, right? So they say it's sugar-free, but I don't think it's the most healthy thing to be doing. Yeah, I go through those big old packs of them. They give you buy two and get two free and all that. So you know how much weight that is? So I take my granny card. I say, damn, I'm consuming all this in 2 or 3 days. Whatever. Plus cleaning supplies, you know. But every time I go in there, it seems like I see everything I need. They put all of them. It's a psychology to supermarkets, you know. They put all the stuff that you need, like your milk and milk, juices, things like that. They put them all the way in the back. Like in the convenience store, you go in, grab what you need, and you go, right? They put it all the way in the back. So you got to walk through all these aisles, past all this merchandise in order, and they strategically know what to put in those aisles, right? To draw you in to buy more stuff. So the security guards, I was talking to him for a minute. He said, well, you ought to just carry that little hand cart. Have a little self-control, honey. But it's like you do need the stuff because you're consuming it, you know. Coffee's, what's that? $12, $13. It adds up real quick. Safeway high. And my thinking is when I'm in there is that, okay, I don't want to be coming in here in and out, in and out, in and out. The whole point is if I just go to the store once a week, I won't have to go up in here and expose myself. Right? There's always something you need. Then it sits in your damn cabinet for 6 months. Do the just for you Safeway. Just for you, that's that online thing. See that building right there with a mural on it? That's Safeway, right? So it's the only place that I allow myself to go, right? I only go to Safeway, so other than that, I'm in the house all the time. So I guess I'm making an experience out of it. I said, who needs $200 worth of shit by themselves a week, particularly when you don't cook? Something is wrong this evening. Superman lover, yeah. Discounts. My friend Gamish, he only called me. He has one of those little organizers with all these coupons. I said, child, just doesn't feel right to me. Grown ass man. He saves a lot of money though with them damn coupons. I don't do that. I guess now you can do a lot of it online. You can just click on stuff. You know, save. At the same save. Do we? Dandra Jameson. I'll save you at Safeway. We shop at the same Safeway. I ain't never seen you go to Food Co. I go to Food Co. I go to Food Co. only because they have my dog stuff. The same stuff over here is $3.50 for his little treats. He goes to a bag of about every other day. At Safeway, it's $3.50. If I go to Food Co., it's $1. So before all his stuff I got at Food Co., and he eats only chicken. He don't eat dog food. So I will get, it's cheap there to get Food Co. But now I'm not getting on no bus. I'm not getting on no buses. I'm not going no Food Co. As far as I'm going to go is Safeway. And there's one restaurant that I'll occasionally look into. But even when you go to the Mexican restaurant, you got, it's only to go. I'm always the only one in there. I don't know how those people are surviving. They got 3 employees just to keep it open. And if I'm always the only person in there, I'm surprised they're able to stay in business. Yeah, I go to Foods Co. Diandra, maybe we've met before. There are a couple of people who have saw me on the street and said, Timothy, one of the employee over at Safeway. Timothy, is that you? Yes, that's me, child. Sang, Uncle Tim. Well, good day, Mr. Blaine. Hope all is well. Hi, Preling Chocolates. Y'all helping me learn how to read these damn words too. Because part of my dyslexia is the inability to just sound out words, right? So I always struggle. If you have an unusual name, it's always a struggle to me because I got to actually sound it out. But maybe this is a good exercise for me. Something is wrong this evening. Something wrong. Okay, did I miss anybody? All right, people. I just want to come in and drop a word about Andrew. I'm going to go and watch. I watched Greenleaf last night, but I just watch it on the night it comes on Tuesday, and then I'll watch it again today, so I can actually take notes and see, and give my commentary on it. But yeah, you guys, it's a good. I love that show. I love that show. I love that one. I love Queen Sugar. Those are the only 2 I ever even attempt to review. All right, I'm gonna go and check and see what the mess is for today. I know there's some out there, honey. There's some out there. Like the Fro Unk, thank you, Anthony. Anthony Lester. All right, guys, be safe. Stay in if you can. Talk to you later.